A new park is now open at Point Defiance.
Illegal dumping of yard waste hurts our community.
And blueberries are ripe for the picking.
All that and more coming up next on Tacoma Report. Hello, and welcome to this edition of Tacoma Report. I'm Laura Proctor.
And I'm Angie Foster. After 3 years of construction, Metro Parks Tacoma has opened the Wilson Way Bridge and Dune Peninsula. Stacy Ellifrit has more on how this expansion offers visitors an enhanced park experience.
There are some exciting new features at Point Defiance Park. A new bridge acting as a missing link between Point Defiance and Ruston Way, and a peninsula that has created 11 acres of park space are both open and ready for use. The culmination of this project gives Metro Parks much to celebrate.
To finally open this project for Metro Parks is it's delivering on a promise that we made decades ago, and in my opinion, we've over-delivered because it's so beautiful. I could say on behalf of Metro Parks, we're super excited, and there's been a massive amount of positive feedback.
The community has shown excitement for the opening of this new space throughout the project. Now that they are ready for use, these new amenities give parkgoers a fresh perspective of this idyllic location.
The new amenities of the park, we're standing on a bridge that is a pedestrian and bicycle bridge for people who are either coming from the waterfront, going into the old growth forest part of the park, or vice versa. We have slides and stairs, which is a bit like chutes and ladders. And that's super fun and it's been really popular. And then down at the waterfront is a brand new park out on the peninsula called Dune Peninsula.
This new park offers active and passive play and is a great place to take in sweeping views. The building of this park is special for a number of reasons.
Because it's not just a park. It doesn't normally take this many years to just do a park, but when you take a site that was a smelter waste site and you reclaim it and restore it into a park, now you've got something special going on. In addition, anytime you can connect very important parts of our community like the waterfront and Point Defiance Park, that's special.
Metro Parks took space that was otherwise unusable for the community and turned it into a beautiful location for all to enjoy. Naming of these new spaces holds special meaning.
The bridge that we're standing on was named after Jack Wilson, who was the executive director of Metro Parks when this project began and really had a lot to do with the beginning of this project. So he had big vision for this area, and so this bridge was named after him. As far as Dune Peninsula goes, it's named after Frank Herbert, who was the author of the Dune books. He used to live across the water and he'd watch this smelter and he would dream up some of his stories based off of what he was seeing.
A community celebration is being planned to coincide with the Downtown to Defiance event on Saturday, September 7th.
We're going to be doing the Downtown to Defiance like is planned. This year, however, towards the end of Downtown to Defiance, we're partying on this new Dune Peninsula. And what does that look like? It's a free event for anyone and everyone, and we hope everyone shows up to see this park in action.
For Tacoma Report, I'm Stacy Ellifrit.
Check out the park and enjoy the beauty of this amazing gateway to Point Defiance Park and to the Ruston Way waterfront. Visit the destination Point Defiance site to learn more.
This August, pack your snacks, blankets, and lawn chairs and head to the park for a summertime tradition. Metro Parks Tacoma is hosting free family-friendly outdoor movies in Tacoma's parks. An event is being held the first Tuesday and then most Fridays in August at locations including the Center at Norpoint, Stewart Heights Park, and Star Center. For specific dates, times, locations, and movie titles, visit the Metro Parks Tacoma site. The end of the summer is quickly approaching, but not before several more community festivals celebrate neighborhood pride in Tacoma. The McKinley Street Fair on Saturday, August 17th added a second stage to the festivities this year. The East Side will host the community from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. for an event including food, dance, music, and more. You can also roll on over to the South Tacoma Car Show on August 17th to see more than 300 classic cars, trucks, and motorcycles. The Hilltop Parade and Car Show follows the following Saturday on August 24th, starting at 11 a.m., and includes classic cars, 3 entertainment stages, kids' activities, and this year's theme, Washington Apples.
There is always something to do at the Tacoma Public Library, and all City of Tacoma residents are eligible for a free library card. Having a library card gives residents access to a number of resources, including computers, ebooks, audiobooks, and more. The library also frequently hosts free training classes and other free community events at its various locations. Go to tacomalibrary.org for more details. After the break, we'll be joined in studio by Pierce Transit's Rebecca Japhet to talk about paid parking at Freight House Square.
Don't go away, we'll be right back. It can sometimes be a challenge to find parking at popular park and ride lots. That's especially true at the Tacoma Dome Station, where the nearly 2,400 parking spots are often filled before the end of the weekday morning commute. Here to tell us about some new options Pierce Transit has been exploring is Rebecca Japhet. Welcome to Tacoma
Thank you.
Report.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
You bet.
So Rebecca, can you tell us, so Pierce Transit is now selling reserved parking spots at the Tacoma Dome Station.
Correct.
How does that benefit transit riders?
Right. So as you probably know, Tacoma Dome Station is just a huge hub for transit. It's actually the largest one in the state. So we have Amtrak there, we have Bolt Bus, we have local buses, we have the buses that go up to Seattle, the express buses, Sound Transit, we have the light rail, the Link Light Rail, and then of course the Sounder commuter rail that goes up to Seattle and then down to Lakewood. So a lot of people use that facility to catch transit. So there are 2 large parking garages there, as you mentioned, about 2,400 spots. And so our Board of Commissioners made a decision to set aside about 200 of those to start as reserved parking. It's optional, and they are reserved until about 9 o'clock in the morning, and then anyone can use them after that for free. So that's nice. So it really benefits transit riders in that if they don't really need to get there that early, let's say they don't really need to leave until about 8 o'clock, after about 7:30, you're probably not going to find a parking spot because it's that full with 2,400 cars. So it gives people an option to do something else in the morning if they don't need to leave quite so early. So they might need to drop their kids off at school or run an errand in the morning. If they have a little different schedule, it gives them an option to really have a place. And then on the transit side of the house, it benefits us in that it really can spread out those morning commute trips. So instead of having everyone pack onto the 6 o'clock train or the 7 o'clock train, we can spread those trips out a little further. So that's really nice for us, as well as other transit agencies in the area are going this route. So King County Metro and Sound Transit and others are kind of doing this reserved parking option as well. So it helps people kind of know what to expect.
Nice, lots of options for the commuters. And so how much do the permits cost?
Right, so if you are a van pooler like me, or if you carpool, the good news is it's free. So you can just go on and register. All you have to do is make sure you have 2 people arriving at the station together, at least 2 in one vehicle. So those are free, which is great. We also have, there's an ORCA program. It's called One Regional Card for All. It's a card that people can use to take all kinds of different transit. They can use it on Sound Transit, on Pierce Transit, on the Washington State Ferries, King County. So you just have to have one card. That ORCA program has something called a LIFT program, ORCA LIFT, which is a low-income program. So if people qualify for that, then they pay $27 a month for a spot. And if you are just a regular single occupancy vehicle car, it's $80 a month.
Nice, okay. And then Rebecca, one final question. How can people get more information?
Right, so they can go to piercetransit.org/permit-parking. And they can apply for a permit there and go through the registration process. People apply for permits a month ahead. So right now we're at the very end of July, let's say. You're applying for an August permit. In August, people will apply for a September permit. So that's how it has all the information on there. I will add one more caveat. Our Board of Commissioners said that people who have permits, that get permits, must live within the Pierce Transit Benefit District area. So that website also has a really nice tool for you to put in your address, and then you can find out if you're within the area and if you can get a permit.
That is great. That is some wonderful information. We absolutely appreciate you being on the show, and thank you for being here, and we hope you'll come back.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Rebecca. After the program has been operating for several months, data will be reviewed and program adjustments may be made. When we come back, we'll check out a park where it's okay to have sticky fingers.
Parks are an important asset to neighborhoods. Some are community pocket parks, while others feature towering trees and vast amounts of hiking trails. One park in particular can be considered an edible park. In our next story, Dave Gordon tells us why it's so delicious.
Blueberries, considered a multifaceted fruit packed full of antioxidants, yet able to fill sweet tooth cravings. Here in Tacoma South End, just off East 72nd and East D Streets, there's a tasty public park with no swing sets, no dog runs, and no play areas. Just blueberries. Charlotte's Blueberry Park once was a blueberry farm, started in the early 1950s. Metro Parks Tacoma officially took over the place and kept it for blueberries, 20 acres of blueberry bushes, just ripe for public picking. The park is named in honor of Charlotte Valbert.
She was a local resident who took care of the place after it was abandoned for so many years. She groomed the area, got rid of weeds, took loving care of the blueberries themselves.
Blueberry picking season at the park runs from July through September. It's open from sunrise to sunset, with berry picking open to the public on a first pick, first served basis.
I really enjoy picking the blueberries, and it's free, and it's such a big park. It's wonderful. I'm a culinary arts student, so I use the blueberries for all kinds of things.
Kind of wanted a really peaceful place to get away to today and get some berries at the same time. Something that we could all be together and have a nice day outside and relaxing.
Charlotte's Blueberry Park features a variety of blueberries that last through summer. Just bring a bucket and prepare to pick, pluck, and munch throughout the day.
We got blueberries!
Yay!
Look!
Charlotte's Blueberry Park is 20 acres of enjoyment. Just make sure that next time you come up here, you're not wearing a white shirt doing a stand-up for the news. For Tacoma Report, I'm Dave Gordon.
For more information on the picking season of Charlotte's Blueberry Park, visit them online.
Blueberry Park is a community asset and one of approximately 70 public parks managed by Tacoma Metro Parks. Recently, Metro Parks held a community meeting with neighbors, the city, and the Tacoma Police Department to address visitor concerns about reoccurring encampments.
The City of Tacoma and Metro Parks Tacoma are partnering to further address and respond to the concerns that are happening at Blueberry Park. The homeless outreach team with TPD responds to it almost daily, to the concerns they receive for the community. And right now they're looking at some vegetation options to increase the sightlines of visibility so they continue to respond. If people have concerns that are going on, please enter them in 311, or they can call 311. Our customer service center can forward them to the appropriate responding department. If they see any unwanted or unsafe activity, to call 911.
Solutions to address the health and safety concerns are underway, and the park remains open and accessible for all visitors. The city's Environmental Services Department wants to remind community members that the illegal dumping of yard waste, landscape debris, and garbage is harmful to Tacoma's natural areas.
A lot of the illegal dumping that occurs in Tacoma happens in our green spaces or our open spaces, which can have a number of impacts. Illegally dumped yard waste can have weeds or invasive plants that can ultimately end up taking over an area. This can also impact wildlife health by reducing the diversity and the amount of food and shelter that's available to them.
You can help by using your brown yard and food waste containers to dispose of yard waste and landscape debris. The Tacoma Recovery and Transfer Center accepts yard waste for households with an active solid waste management account.
Illegal dumping of yard waste and other landscape debris can also be especially problematic on slopes. This can add excess weight to the slope, and it can also end up killing the plants which are helping to hold that hillside in place.
Rock, concrete, and similar debris cannot go in the garbage or yard waste bin. For locations to recycle these materials, visit piercecounty.wa.gov. Keep your neighborhood healthy by properly disposing of all of these items. To report dumped debris, contact Tacoma First 311.
Tree topping is an improper pruning practice that removes large amounts of leaves and branches from a tree's crown, reducing its size without considering the tree's health or structural integrity. The practice leads to trees being blemished, making them vulnerable to infestation and disease. For resources and to learn more about tree topping, visit the city's site. Up next, we'll find out how the city is updating an old building to ensure a new future.
And we remember the contribution of former Tacoma Mayor Karen Vial. We'll be right back.
The Youth and Young Adult Drop-In Center has moved to a new location that centralizes services and allows for expanded hours. The new location is at 2342 Tacoma Avenue and serves people ages 12 to 24 by providing case management, access to job training, mentoring, educational attainment programs, and basic amenities. The City Council recently heard proposals for addressing maintenance needs and upgrading the Beacon Activity Center to better serve senior community members, youth, and young adults. The recommendation is to invest $4.58 million to renovate, replace the building's HVAC system, update plumbing and electrical, expand the kitchen, and enhance the building to include 2 separate entries for the senior center, the young adult overnight shelter, and youth and young adult drop-in programs. The city is anticipating the project will be completed by 2021. During the project, the programs will be relocated and services are not anticipated to be affected.
The city is always looking for applicants for its volunteer committees, boards, and commissions. For the latest information on available openings or for details on how to apply for a City of Tacoma committee, board, or commission position, visit them online. Election season is in full swing. If you'd like information on how to register to vote, to update your current voter information, or to find a map of drop box locations throughout the area, visit the Pierce County Auditor's website. Registration can be done online, but make sure you have a Washington State driver's license, ID card, or a permit.
And finally, Karen Vial, Tacoma's first female mayor and lifelong Tacoma resident, passed away at the age of 76. As mayor, she played a major role in the Foss Waterway cleanup, the Puyallup Tribe of Indians land claim settlement, the Union Station renovation, and the development of the University of Washington, Tacoma. She served as Tacoma's mayor from 1990 through 1994. This is a tremendous loss for Tacoma, and she will be missed.
That's all the time we have on this edition of Tacoma Report.
A great way to find out about the services the City of Tacoma has to offer is by going to cityoftacoma.org. Until next time, I'm Angie Foster.
And I'm Laura Proctor. Thanks for watching.